Hey guys, on today's podcast, I want to give you some insight on what social media will not tell you about real estate investing. Firstly, what you don't see is the necessity of hard work. Investing in real estate is a very sexy thing right now. You see the big house, you see the fancy cars, you see the opportunity to make a lot of money and a lot of income. But the reality is, what goes into that and what goes on behind the scenes to get to that level of success isn't always discussed in depth. There are so many opportunities out there within the real estate investing business. You could invest in single family homes, commercial real estate, hotels, bed and breakfasts, event facilities, etc. But to acquire your first property, the reality is it's going to take two major things: savings and hard work. And they go hand in hand. At the end of the day, you're going to have to focus, keep putting in the work, ensure that you have a good sum of capital to invest in your first property. After your first couple properties and after you've developed a smaller portfolio, you can start utilizing tools like leverage and creative financing to keep on expanding your business. But really planting the seeds of growing your business is all really happens within the first couple of properties. And that all has to do with hard work, focus, and saving your capital. There's a lot of gurus out there who will talk about you acquiring real estate without having any money down or having bad credit. To a certain extent, that is true. You can acquire real estate without having any money down or bad credit, but how you do that, you don't really get too much information of. Acquiring real estate without a lot of capital can happen when you get family and friends to invest in an idea or a property that you think is going to be successful. That requires a lot of work. The first person you speak to most likely is not going to be the person that invests in your deal. You're going to have to talk to multiple people. You're going to have to plant a lot of seeds to eventually build the capital to buy your first investment without your own capital. That's a lengthy process that has to do with a lot of rejection. So if you're not prepared for that, it can be very cumbersome and you can lose your motivation very quickly. The other component of trying to get properties without the right credit or the right financing is understand that you can still acquire properties with bad credit, but the reality is that you're going to be paying a higher interest rate. You got to factor in that higher interest rate when you go to private lenders or to people who are going to lend you money at those higher interest rates because of the fact you don't have the greatest credit, and how that's going to impact your cash flow. If you are expecting a return of 10% on your investment, but the person that is giving you a loan is charging you 16%, you obviously are not going to be able to make your payments. And so there's a lot of intricacies that go along with the ability to acquire real estate without having the right credit or the right finances. You can do it, yes, absolutely. But there's a lot of other things that are a part of the scenario that are not always discussed. Coming from someone who's a real estate coach or a mentor myself, it's going to sound a little bit strange that I say this, but the reality is a lot of you do not need a mentor. You just need to go out there, face your fears, and do it. I have a lot of investors who sit down with me, or first-time investors, and they want to get advice on how to acquire their first property and all that kind of stuff. All that information, frankly, is already out there on YouTube. You don't need an individual person to be able to give you the guidance on that. So much of your real estate investing success is going to come down to the mental component of investing. And what I mean by that is it's a certain level of courage that you have to take or have to take action on what you know you need to do. It's like anything in life. You're not going to get a six-pack from finding a mentor to guide you on how to get a six-pack. You're going to have to sit there and actually do those sit-ups. Well, the reality is it's very similar with real estate investing. You're going to have to at some point take the actions that you need to take to acquire your first rental property or to acquire further properties. It's not about the information as much as it's about you taking action. Will you fail? Most likely there's a high probability you will. But that is, of course, how you learn. And it's best to make those mistakes early versus later on in your career. So take action, make mistakes, fail, and learn from those mistakes so you can take your property investing business to the next level.